Hello everyone, welcome to another art video. In today's video, I'm going to be painting 4 different food illustrations. I don't know why, but I just love painting food. And I've painted more savory food than sweet, but I did start painting sweet food on the other page. But for now, today we are focusing on savory food and just yummy looking food. So let's get into today's video. So I was waffling on whether to do a tutorial video on how to paint food, but I decided to just give tips for right now in today's video, and I'll just talk about my process instead of giving step-by-step instruction. Please let me know if you would like a step-by-step tutorial, and I can definitely do that for you guys. I would love to paint more food, so I would be definitely down to doing a more step-by-step video in the future. So let's get into my current illustration right here. So this, I'm not sure about this painting. At first glance, it kind of looks strange because you're like, what is this red blob here? So it's supposed to be this tomato salsa stuff, and then there's egg on top. And the picture looked really yummy. And I will link all the references I'm using down below if you want to follow along. So first, for this toast and egg tomato meal sort of deal here, I first put down a light layer of red watercolor. I'm using watercolor for all of these illustrations, but here and there I do use some gouache because I need that extra opaqueness for like highlights or things to go on top of the watercolor. So I finished the tomato salsa for right now, and then I'm going on to the bread, and as you can see, I'm doing first a light layer of watercolor, and then I'm going in with a darker brown color to do the crust and the darker parts of the bread. So my biggest tip for painting food illustrations is to start with a base color first, a light wash of that color, and then go in with the darker parts. And then if you need to do highlights, use either gouache or acrylic white to do that. For some reason, all of these illustrations have a bread theme in them, and I don't know, I just find bread really fun to do. So if you're starting out doing some food illustrations with watercolor, I would suggest doing some bread. That it's always fun because there's not a lot of colors involved. You can layer slowly, and it usually always comes out pretty nice looking. Another food to start with would be eggs. They're not that hard. A lot of the 3 of the illustrations today have eggs in them, and I was really happy with them. Tip number 2, I would recommend doing your darkest details last, or very close to last, and slowly building up your layers. Like you can see here, I'm going in a bit lighter with the texture of the bread, and then I'm going over it and readjusting and going over it, and then adding a bit more if I need it darker. And you can always go in with a darker color, but once that darker color is down with watercolor, it's hard to change that. So that's why I recommend doing your lightest layer and then building up your values. And not only will that help with it all coming together, it'll give it more depth and make it look more realistic. So the next food illustration is grilled cheese. And so I am starting with a light base color for the bread. This one was really fun to do because it had not very many colors and it had bread once again. Bread and eggs are a theme in this sketchbook spread. So I did the base color and then I'm going around with a darker, warmer brown color for the crust. And then I'm going in to put the grilled parts after I'm done doing the bread. I will let you enjoy the rest of the video, everyone, and I will pop on once in a while if I have some comments on the painting. With the cheese, another important thing to note is that you need to do a light layer first. That's a repeating theme in this video, but it is important. And then I go in with a darker yellowy orange and I put stringy parts here and shadows there to make it contrast and make it look like it's pulling apart instead of just one color for the cheese, because it needs to have some contrast just like the bread needs to have contrast. And then I go in with some white to add some highlights. I really liked how this one turned out. And that is the end to this video, everyone. Thank you so much for making it to the end. I hope you enjoyed this video. I really enjoyed filming, painting, and editing this video. Please let me know if you would like another one of these, because I would love to make another one, maybe of desserts next or pastries. Let me know if you'd like a more in-depth tutorial, because as I said, I would love to do that for you guys. Thank you so much again, and have a wonderful rest of your day. Goodbye, everyone, and see you in the next video.